everybody, E here. Welcome to my brand new series, Operation Thriller. In this series, I'm going to be talking about thrillers in general, what I like about the genre, what I don't like about the genre. Basically, I'm going to be going through some of the most popular thriller authors on the scene today, or over the past couple of years, mostly recent stuff. I have a problem with recent thrillers. They all seem to read the exact same way. There's no unique voices in the genre, at least I don't think so. And I'm trying to go through all these new guys or, folks that have popped up within the past, decade or so. I would say probably starting around 2010 forward, trying to find good action thrillers. Now I say action thrillers, what I mean is like genre thrillers. What I'm not looking for is literary, thrillers like, let's say Greg Iles, for instance. He has more literary flair. I'm looking for like a Nelson DeMille type of thriller where you have a main protagonist, male or female, badass, and the writing is actually good or decent. We are starting this series with Vince Flynn. I was lucky enough to find most of his series, this whole stack back here, Kill Shot, Transfer of Power, Separation of Power, Memorial Day, Consent to Kill, Act of Treason, Protect and Defend, are all part of his Mitch Rapp series. I'm missing some of them, but I got all of them for $1. If you're interested in buying this collection off me, we can talk about it down there in the doobly-doo, because I'll be getting rid of it. Mainly because I didn't like this whatsoever. I'm giving each one of these books 50 pages to kind of reel me in, and this one I thought was laughably bad in those first 50 pages, and most of the reason is it doesn't have anything to do with the characters. It has to do with Flynn's writing. And yes, I know Vince Flynn passed away some time ago from prostate cancer, and while that is sad, I mean no offense to the guy, I just don't like his writing. Same thing with Michael Crichton. Michael Crichton passed away, I don't like his writing either. Not trying to be disrespectful, it's just what I don't like. So Vince Flynn, one of the main problems I have with his writing is it's almost propaganda-ish, and I say that meaning this. You know how people will, especially on the right side of politics, will say, the gay agenda, the liberal agenda, the this agenda, that agenda. This one has a very strong male agenda, and it's almost desperate in the maleness of it. He talks about emasculation. He talks about there's a lot of stuff in here, and it's oddly enough, five times in the book. In the first 50 pages, mind you, he talks about how big someone's balls are. As far as guts, this dude had big balls. He must have had big balls. He had balls big enough to say this. 5 times, every 10 pages or so, he would talk about balls. And it was just oddly, oddly macho. There's just machismo kind of deal coming off this. But it's also ludicrous to the extent of the maleness of it. I found that funny, and I know men's adventure has long been, you got Clive Cussler, you got, there's a whole, subgenre, Max Bolin, all those guys. And this just seems like a newer version of that. Even Nelson DeMille, one of my current guilty pleasures, is a horrible misogynist, sexist. Or at least that's how his characters come across. But this one is so comically, I'm a man and I do man things. I couldn't stand it. Also, there's a... the place where I quit was around page 55. I'm going to go ahead and jump to this. To read you a back and forth between grown men. For a minute, I forgot I was reading about grown men, and I thought I was reading about, like, teenage boys in a juvie facility or whatever, because all these men are bunking with each other while they learn to be assassins, I guess. And it says, you'd better watch yourself. Victor's eyes had taken on a wild glare. Or what? Rapp asked. The other 5 guys all dropped what they were doing to see what was going on. You gonna take a swing at me, Victor? rap egged the big man on. He was ready to end this thing right now. What's wrong? Your mom, the neighborhood slut when you were growing up? She didn't hold you enough when you were little? She let every guy she met suck on her tit except you? You got a big mouth, Victor Snow. Teenagers, man. But no, they're supposed to be grown men. So... yeah, I didn't like it. Also, there's another thing in thrillers that bother the hell out of me, and if you're a writer of thrillers, editors actually push you to do this, a more active tense, a more active prose, but sometimes it just gets ridiculous to the point, you see this, like I said, you especially see this in genre thrillers. A foreboding premonition hijacked his thoughts and sent his mind careening into a place that he did not want to go. They take mundane things like thought and throw in action words like hijacked and careening, stuff like that. I think it's silly. You might think differently. In fact, I'll probably get a lot of hate over this video, but I'm looking for a thriller author, either standalone or a series, with a very action-heavy plot that doesn't read goofy, that doesn't have the flooding of testosterone, or the seemingly desperate attempt to be just as manly as you can be, because it all comes off, like I said, it all comes off to sound a bit desperate to me. Anyways, if you have any recommendations, please let me know down there in the comments below. I've tried Michael Prescott. I like him. I also like Greg Hurwitz. I will be revisiting these guys also as I go along to try and find who I enjoy and who I don't enjoy. Next up, I think I'm going to take a crack at Stephen Hunter. I got a bunch of his books free also. I'm going to try one of his books next. So if you have a recommendation for Stephen Hunter or anybody else, let me know down there in the comments below. But until next time, I have been E, you have been you, this has been Operation Thriller. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye!